Hello there. So I'm fully aware that February is already underway. By the time this video goes up, it'll be well into February, but as it stands, it's the 4th of February. And I had an idea yesterday that basically this year I know I want to read more first novels. I think it'll be really helpful for my own writing because, you know, when you read somebody's work later on in their careers, obviously they've developed a style, whereas in a first novel it often feels like a first novel. The writing isn't quite as perfect, the plot maybe not as together. Obviously that's not always the case. There are some phenomenal first novels out there which just make you wonder how, but a lot of the time even amazing writers have kind of shaky first novels. You know, sometimes you can see promise in them, but a lot of the time they're not the perfect thing. So I want to read more first novels this year, and I thought first novel February works quite well, so I thought I would do a little thing called First Novel February, where I read solely first novels this month. I have read some books already which obviously aren't first novels, and I'm going to be listening to audiobooks on the side which aren't first novels, but all of the books that I'm going to be picking up from now on are people's first novels. I thought I would also kind of tie this in with Femmeuary, which is something that Lauren in the Books is doing, where it focuses on all things female in February. So all of these are the first novels of women writers. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be reading. I've got 10 books here, and I'm kind of not under the impression that I'm going to get through them all, though if I did that would be fantastic. But they're all books that I'm really excited to read as well, so it's kind of good that I'm doing this and actually getting the excuse to pick up these books. So I'm just going to show you them quickly because I haven't read them yet, so I don't know much about them, and also there are quite a few to get through. So the first one is The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. This is her first book, but it also won the Booker, so you know that sets it up to be kind of amazing. I've wanted to get to this for a really long time, but it's just one that I keep forgetting about, in all honesty, so I'm really excited to finally pick it up. And I've got The Lola Quartet by Emily St John Mandel. This is her first novel, although I know Katie from Books and Things thinks this is her best novel, so I'm really excited to get to this one. Then I've got When We Were Alive by CJ Fisher. This is a really exciting one because CJ Fisher is actually Ophelia Dagger from YouTube. I'll link her down below. She's kind of the person who first introduced me to BookTube in a way. She's not a booktuber, and to be honest she hasn't posted a video in a few years now, but she's this really funny, lovely YouTuber, and she's done a few bookish videos along the way, and this is her first novel. I haven't actually heard anything about this. I heard one review, I think, that said it was really good, but other than that I haven't really heard it spoken about very much on YouTube, so I'm really interested to get to that one, and I think having watched her backlog of videos, it'll be interesting to see her progression in this one. Then I've got Elizabeth is Missing by Emma Healy. This was actually the inspiration predominantly for this. Emma Healy is going to be speaking near me in May, so I thought I would finally get to this one and see if I wanted to see her speak elsewhere. It won the Costa in 2014, and I've heard really good things, so hopefully that'll be a winner. Then I possibly might not get to this one. This is one that I'm definitely going to leave until the end, but it's Carson McCullers' The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. I have read this, so it would be a reread for me, which is why I'm not overly fussed about getting to it, but this is one of my best books of all time, and Carson McCullers wrote it when she was 22, and it is just some of the most stunning prose I have ever read. So the fact that it's her first novel and she was 22 when she wrote it is just unnecessary. So as I say, if I get a chance, it would be a really lovely excuse to reread this one. Then I've also got Ali Smith's Free Love and Other Stories. This is a bit of a cheat because it's not a novel, it's a collection of short stories, but I really want to go back and see Ali Smith's progression because again, she's a writer that I really quite envy, so it'll be interesting to see the stage at which she started and sort of see how she developed her style and so on. So I wanted to include that, and it's you know, who cares about rules? Then I've got The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. I read Beloved by Toni Morrison about 2 years ago and adored it, and have been collecting her backlog ever since. I didn't actually realise that The Bluest Eye was her first novel, so I just, on a hope that I had her first novel, searched her name into Google, and this was the first one she wrote, so I'm really intrigued to get to that one. Then I've got Sarah Waters, Tipping the Velvet. I have not had the best relationship with Sarah Waters. In fact, I would say that I don't know, I just find her books quite boring. I've got to be completely honest. They just are far too long for my taste, for the amount of plot that is in them. And this is not a short book either. But I kind of think if I'm gonna like any of Sarah Waters, I'm going to like this one. I've heard only positive things. That said, I'm kind of skeptical because I've heard nothing but positive things about Sarah Waters as a whole, and I've read 2 of her books and not liked them, but I thought I would give this one a shot. And then I've got 2 which again could be considered as cheats. So I've got A Song for Issy Bradley by Caris Bray, because this is her debut novel, but she did have a short story collection, Sweet Home, out before this, so especially considering that I've counted Ali Smith's short story collection, that seems a bit cheeky. But I have this on my shelves and I have not yet picked it up. I just, again, I keep forgetting about it, so I thought I would include this because, you know, it is technically her first novel. And then finally I have got Kate Tempest's The Bricks That Built the Houses. Again, she's not an unknown name. She's got lots of poetry collections out before this one, but again, it's her first novel, and I'm really, really excited to get to this one, and I think this is the one that I am most highly anticipating from this list, so we shall see how that goes. So that is all the first novels I am considering for this month. Feel free to join in if you fancy, and let me know down below a few of your favourite debut novels, and I'll see you next time. Bye!